Your perfectionism is holding you back. That sketch gathering dust, the blog post sitting in your drafts, the video you shelved because it just wasn't right. Sounds familiar? If the mere thought of someone critiquing your work sends shivers down your spine, or if you find yourself adding just one more line to an already finished piece, you just might be a perfectionist. Now, before you start panicking, it's okay. Perfectionism is completely normal and very common in artists. And luckily for you, I'm a recovering perfectionist and I have some tips to help you break free. And yes, this is the right video. I know I'm making coffee, but it'll all make sense soon enough. Alright, let's rewind a bit. Welcome back. Or if you're new here, I'm Karan. For over 15 years, I've been in the art and design world, and now my mission is to guide you into becoming a future artist. So what fuels this relentless pursuit of perfection? At its core, it's fear. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, and that gnawing anxiety from social comparison. It's the dread of not living up to some unattainable standard. Think about it. How do you feel when you open up Instagram on your phone? If you're anything like me, you probably fall into the comparison trap. I still struggle with this today, and I have to constantly remind myself to just chill. It's very easy to think your work sucks when you're only seeing everyone's highlights. It makes you want to either give up or double down. But here's the thing. Neither of those options will work. You have to take a step back and see those highlights for what they are. Highlights. You never see the sketchbooks that are filled with scribbles and trash. You only see the ones that are so polished they seem impossible. When we put our work out there, we're very vulnerable. Let's forget about the social media trolls for a second. In the traditional art world, fears of rejection are even worse. This is where elitism shines. Your work is only as good as a critic says it is. It's only worth as much as a collector or a gallery values it. Let's talk about the cost of perfectionism. Remember that sketch that's not ready for anyone to see? Or the video you never uploaded because something was off? That's what perfectionism costs you. It stops you from progressing. It robs you from learning. All because it does not let you get your art out there. I started this channel 2 years after I should have. And because of that, I lost 2 years of progress. And I'm not talking about the amount of extra videos I could have made or sketches I could have done. If I started 2 years ago, I'd be a better speaker, I'd be better at editing videos, I'd be further along the business aspect of the channel. That's not to say I'm not happy where I ended up. This channel has exceeded all of my expectations. But I want to ask you something. What opportunities did you lose because you didn't think you were ready? Now let's talk about ways to break free of perfectionism. These 4 strategies are my tried and true. I use these to reframe myself as an artist and as a person. The first is to just do it. Stop this video right now and upload the videos in your draft tabs on Instagram. If you don't have drafts, take a photo of your latest sketch, the one that's not ready yet, and send it to someone. This will do a few things. First, it'll help you build your tolerance for uncertainty. Once you see the sky hasn't fallen, or you haven't lost all your friends, you'll begin to embrace the unknown. The second thing this will do is make you more compassionate towards yourself. So much of perfectionism is self-inflicted. Once you see that you're the only one holding yourself back, it becomes a lot easier to break through. And finally, sharing that work you didn't think was ready will really build your confidence. As you become more comfortable with imperfection and uncertainty, you'll start to take more creative risks. The second of the 4 strategies is to be inspired by other artists, but don't compare yourself to them. Social media is a never-ending highlight reel. It makes it seem like everyone has it all figured out and you're just struggling to keep up. I've been there. I remember scrolling through feeds and feeling completely inadequate. Not only were the artists I was looking at much better than I was, the production value of their videos were just next level. It made me question why I even bother trying. It's a really demoralizing mindset to be in, and I know it can make you just want to give up. It all changed when I made this one switch to my mindset. Instead of looking at these artists as competition, I started to look at them as inspiration. Those artists that you admire have been doing this for years. They have a huge head start on you. So flipping the script and viewing them as inspiration rather than roadblocks will open up a whole new world of growth. Instead of asking why you aren't as good, start asking how you can get to that level. Look at their techniques, their approaches, their creative choices. Reverse engineer what makes their content so compelling and adapt them to your own unique vision and style. Those Instagram feeds aren't obstacles holding you back. They're a masterclass in art and production. It's a subtle but powerful mindset shift that can truly transform the way you approach your art. The third way you're going to beat perfectionism is to aim for progress, not perfection. Instead of aiming for a masterful sketch right away, Try to aim at just getting 10% better with each new piece you create. When I first started this channel, I was so hung up on perfection. The videos had to be perfect, the angles had to be perfect, the audio had to be perfect. And you know what that did? It stopped me from putting out content altogether. I had a bunch of half-edited videos and a lot of terrible sketches that no one ever saw because they never met my unrealistic standards. But once I gave myself a break and started to focus on slowly improving my camera skills and slowly improving my recording skills, my videos became so much better. They were more authentic, more engaging, and people actually saw and got some great advice from them. The truth is, perfect is impossible, and the more you chase it, the more you risk burning yourself out. I learned that the hard way. My perfectionism led me straight to burnout, and I had to stop creating for a while. When I started to create again, I shifted my focus to progress instead of perfection. And let me tell you, that 10% compounds over time. Before you know it, you're putting out some quality art. It's a sustainable, healthy approach that keeps you motivated and inspired rather than frustrated and depleted. So don't worry about flawless masterpieces. Just focus on steady, consistent progress. I promise you that 10% will add up faster than you think, and you'll be amazed at how far you've come. Finally, it's so important to zoom out and look at the bigger picture. Being an artist isn't about one sketch, one post, or one video. It's about your experiences, your growth, and becoming better over time. That was a lesson that I had to learn myself. Early on, I would get so caught up in every tiny detail of a piece. I'd scrutinize every pen stroke, second guess every creative decision, and just end up feeling frustrated. This led to creative blocks and me not creating at all. But then I had this realization that really shifted my perspective. No one was looking, or even had the time to judge what I was doing. They were all just trying to live their own lives. I realized that how I saw my work and how others saw it was completely different. In fact, it was the opposite of the Instagram effect. I saw all of the imperfections in my work, and they just saw how great it looked. You're always your harshest critic, and others simply cannot see what you can. When I started to zoom out, I saw every piece of work for what it was. Sometimes, a quick 5-minute sketch is better than an unfinished 2-hour drawing, because they all serve different purposes. The quick sketches are for practice. The longer ones were for tightening my craft. I stopped getting bogged down in perfectionism and instead focused on my overall growth. And let me tell you, stepping back and looking at the bigger picture gave me a renewed sense of purpose and motivation. So my advice to you is don't get caught up in the small stuff. Zoom out and look at the bigger picture. Focus on your experiences, the lessons, your evolution, because that's what's truly going to make you a better artist, day by day, piece by piece. To recap the main points we covered today, 1. Stop chasing perfection and just put your work out there. Embrace the uncertainty and build your confidence by sharing your art, even if it's not finished. 2. Be inspired by other artists, but don't compare yourself to them. Reverse engineer what makes their work so compelling, then adapt those elements to your own unique style. 3. Focus on progress, not perfection. Aim to get just 10% better with each new piece you create. The steady improvement will compound over time. 4. Step back and look at the bigger picture of your artistic journey. Don't get bogged down in the small details. Celebrate the growth, lessons, and evolution you're experiencing as an artist. The key is to shift your mindset from fear and self-doubt to one of courageous self-compassion. Trust the process, embrace imperfection, and keep putting your creative work out there. That is the surest path to overcoming perfectionism. So, the whole coffee thing. Well, earlier this year, I started to learn latte art. It's hard. You can do everything right. You can weigh out the perfect amount of coffee, grind it to the right setting, steam your milk perfectly, and it'll still come out bad. So now, I embrace the imperfect. I embrace coffee beans falling all over. I embrace grounds falling out of the portafilter. I embrace it when the milk is too bubbly. I even embrace it when my dog doesn't want to say hi. And I'll tell you what, 9 out of 10 times, I get something that I'm really proud of. All because I stopped aiming for perfection. Now it's your turn. How has perfection held you back? And what are the steps you're taking to break free? Share your stories in the comments below.